gadgets, any sort of gadget that they want, and Google PowerMeter is a gadget that can rest on the iGoogle homepage. What's interesting about this is that several times a day, when anyone is getting onto Google to run a search, they're looking at their power use at home, thinking about their power use. They're seeing the spikes. They're seeing how they're using power, when they leave something turned on. And I'm just going to walk you through a typical day, a couple of days in my house back in California. So this is the first week in December before we came out here to Copenhagen. And these are 2 days. So you can look at, there's a time scale. It's very simple. There's a time scale, and then there's a kilowatt scale. And when things are turned on, the scale goes up, and when they're turned off, it goes down. So just walking through this, 6 a.m., you can see this spike here would be the coffee maker going off in the morning. We got up pretty early that morning. This spike here is a hair dryer. Somebody running the hair dryer, not me, unfortunately. And then here we've left the house, and this is the refrigerator cycling on and off. You can see that a refrigerator cycles. We get home, turn on lights, turn on the TV, go to bed, refrigerator cycling on and off again, and then the pattern starts again the next day. This spike here is the coffee maker. This is hair dryer. Someone ran home for lunch on this particular day. And then not only that, we're also you can put in cost information to show approximately what you would spend every year based on the sort of usage that you have, compare yourself to others, and also get an energy budget. But the point of this is that this is not hard. The technologies to do all this exist, and they can be deployed, and can be deployed at scale. And we can do it in ways that will make it easy for people. This is, again, one tool. There are options for countertop dashboards, countertop displays, cellular phone monitoring. And the point is to make it as easy as possible for people, to have as many solutions for people as possible, and to get as many people using this as possible. And it's a game changer. And as Dan mentioned, when you do give people this information, they do reduce energy. It changes the way people think about energy. I'll give 2 stories. I've got a lot of stories. We've got many Google people who are testing our product, and now we're working with about 9 or 10 utilities. But I'll leave 2 stories with you. The first is just personally for me. When I started using this gadget about 6 months ago in a place that I lived in before I am now, I learned many things. But the first one was when I had everything turned on in my place, all my lamps and lights, and I flipped on my kitchen lights, it doubled my power output, just the kitchen lights, because they were halogen bulbs. The second is when I ran my dishwasher, it tripled my power consumption. And I used to run my dishwasher half empty all the time, and I didn't do that anymore. Actually, there's a third thing I learned, which was that I was living in a multi-unit dwelling, and there was a communal washer and dryer, and I learned that I was paying for everyone's laundry. It was right outside my door, and it was evidently hooked into the fuse in my apartment. The second story I'll tell is even more compelling. The person who I sit next to at work just got a PowerMeter about 6 weeks ago, and it's four-person household, 2 teenage daughters, 4-bedroom house in the East Bay of California, and they found out that by making two changes, they could have dramatic reductions in their energy use. Those changes were this. The first, they left their outside lights on all the time, which were these really high-intensity spotlights. And they left them on all the time, didn't really think about it, left them on at night, left them on when they went to work every day. And the second was she made her 2 teenage daughters turn off the lights when they left for school every morning. And she had noticed that the baseline power on her power meter was up above this 2.0, which is 2,000 watts, 2 kilowatts. So by making those 2 changes, her cost estimates have changed, and they're going to save over $1,000 a year on their energy bills. So think about the waste that's out there, and think about how we can empower people to go out and be a lot smarter about using energy. It's very exciting, and we're very excited to be part of this initiative. Again, hopefully we'll have many solutions for people down the road, and the next 40 years will deliver us lots of promising opportunities. I'll turn it back over to Dan.